Hello, my name is Jacoby Miller, and this is my business executive summary. A brief overview of the company that I am planning to open is that I am planning to open a company called Meet You. Notice the pun in the name, MEATU, as opposed to MEETU. What Meet You focuses on is to provide a food delivery service similar to that of DoorDash or Grubhub, except our main focus is on meats. Consumable meats that the average citizen cooks to eat as a form of protein for dinner. Whether that be chicken, pork, or any meat you can think of, we plan to cut out the middleman of a grocery store and deliver the meats straight to the consumer. This is different from other food delivery services as they mainly focus on fast food, or if you're including grocery delivery services, then they focus on all sorts of groceries while we specialize in meats. If you use a delivery service from a grocery store like Walmart Plus, then you may not have access to a variety of selections of meats as you would with Meat You. Meat You does also provide a butcher service, but this is not the main focus of the business. It is only if one wants to partake in this, but we do not focus on it. The organizational structure that I have chosen for Meet You is that of a C corporation. A sole proprietorship does not work because there is a distinct variety of roles needed for the business to succeed. Myself, I am not a butcher, so I cannot deal with the meat processing side of Meet You by myself. I will need to hire an additional person to handle the meat processing side of things. So I cannot run Meet You by myself. It is not feasible. A partnership does not work as well because I do not plan to permanently own the business. It would be difficult to work out a deal where someone else could handle the entirety of the business while dealing with the meat processing side of things. Which is why I believe a C corporation would work best because of the plan for the future to potentially sell the business to a different owner. And this process is facilitated by that of a C corporation. The reporting structure that I chose is that of a functional reporting structure. As mentioned before, there is a distinct division in roles of the company. What I would plan to do is to manage the business side of the corporation, such as dealing with suppliers, marketing, all the business sorts of things, while the butcher mainly focuses on the meat processing and having meats ready to be delivered. This creates an equal division of power in the company with the butcher because our roles are distinct, yet both are equally important to the success of the company. So, the functional reporting structure encourages specialization in specific skills of the employees. As the company grows, we will be hiring more people, and those people can fit into two main divisions of labor, that of the managerial side and that of the butcher side. So, for the five forces analysis, the buyer power is not that strong because we're appealing to a vast market. Almost everyone has meat as a staple of their diet, except for vegetarians and vegans, but that makes up a small proportion of the population. We are trying to appeal to the common man, and there is seldom a person who would not benefit from our services. So, negotiation for the buyer is not an issue from the business side of things. Existing competition is not an issue because of our differentiation. As mentioned before, we do something that no other company really does. We combine two services, food delivery and meat provision, While there are companies that focus on one or the other, we focus on both. Substitute products are not very feasible because meats are a diet staple. You can get protein from different sources, but meat is widely known as the primary source of protein in the diet of a person. The new entrance force is the critical focus that Michu tries to take advantage of because of a Biden-Harris action plan. So this action plan attempts to lower the monopolistic nature of the meat processing business. Before this plan, there was a huge monopoly in the meat processing business. Four companies owned about 80% of the market share, which made it nearly impossible for new entrants to enter the market. But with this new action plan, they are planning to spend about $1 billion to a company to encourage more entrants to enter the market. The supplier power is the biggest threat to the success of the business because meat success is largely reliant on suppliers. Without suppliers, we cannot have meat. So we will need to strike deals with meat providers, such as Purdue, to acquire meats, and if we cannot get suppliers on board, then the success of the business is highly questionable. For an SWOT analysis, our main strength is that of the differentiation of two separate focuses of the business, while our weaknesses is pre-established connections. I myself don't know anybody that is a butcher or experienced in the meat processing field, so I would have to find somebody that I don't know to run that side of the business, which comes with its own set of concerns, as well as I don't have many connections with suppliers. I do know of some suppliers, but I would have to do some research on more suppliers. For opportunities, the action plan, as mentioned before, is trying to combat the monopolistic nature of the industry, as well as the pandemic. The main reason why, well, one of the main reasons why food delivery services like Grubhub and DoorDash are successful is because the pandemic is still in effect. And going out is not fully safe yet. It's much safer with the vaccines, but it's not fully safe, which is why we are still trying to take advantage of the pandemic. Not like we're glad the pandemic's happening, no, but I mean, while it's happening, we may as well try and profit from it. And in terms of threats, the action plan is a double-edged sword, because while it allows Michu to make an entrance into the market, it allows other entrants to make their way into the market. So the meat processing industry is open for anyone to attempt to enter the market and be potentially successful, which would create a big competition with any new potential rivals. And finally, the generic strategy. We are focusing on the differentiation strategy due to our two distinct focuses. Cost differentiation is not feasible because the deliverable food business is a very, very costly business to run. If you look at services like DoorDash or Grubhub and try to order from them, you will notice that their delivery taxes and other taxes are very high, which is a big motivator for people to go and drive and pick up food and not have to use a deliverable business. But the convenience is what adds that tax. This is not a cheap business to run, which is why cost differentiation is not a feasible option. And focus is not a feasible generic strategy because we are not appealing to a niche market. The market we are trying to appeal to is that of all people. we are selling a product that is almost necessary for survival. It's not quite necessary, but it almost is. So this is not a niche market. We are trying to appeal to all people. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch it.